No New Year's Day.
Ran out of gas today. Do you know those like gallon things you fill up with, like the spare thing? You know, the red thing?
Yeah.
They're like $35 fucking.
Yeah, I know. Then you gotta fill
That's
it up.
a scam.
Oh
like-
yeah, that's happened to me before. Yeah.
It's a fucking. How much is that plastic thing worth? Like 20 cents?
You might as well just get
$35
like a,
fucking dollars, and then give you this fucking the funnel.
yeah.
It doesn't fucking work. I swear to God, I had to like get in my car. I fucking had an old coffee cup. I cut it with my keys and made like my own little funnel. It was a fucking mess today.
That's irresponsible though on you.
Yeah.
I thought I could make it, man. It was one of those things where like I got this.
Well, at least now you know.
I was on like it's digital, so it's like I was on like 2 miles per hour, 1 and 0. I can make it. It's like 10 minutes, but he always does it in his fucking car, and
I've been on E for the last 2 years.
Well,
we make
you've
it
had the
wherever
same
we
car
wanna
for the
go.
past like 30 years.
That's true. I understand my E very well. But I've ran out of gas three
Mine's
times
new,
in my
so
life.
I guess.
But I ran out of gas when I was making deliveries for the flower shop, and I had a truck full of fucking flowers. It was snowing out, so I had to walk like 5 miles to the nearest gas station and get one of those fucking plastic
Oh
things.
my god.
Probably costs you like $100 in the snow. They
Yeah.
upcharge you on that. That's
No.
a fucking scam. We need someone to figure this out.
It was one of the worst days of my life.
They
I was gonna-
monopolized it.
I was just gonna. Is that
Damn it.
Monopoly?
That's been on.
There you go, Ted. What do you feel about this? How do you feel about this?
About Monopolies?
About monopolies in general.
Oh, I hate them. They're horrible.
What about the board game?
Board game's great.
You're not very good at it.
How do you
You
figure?
said before we were talking about Jay-Z music, and because Jay-Z has exclusive his albums on Tidal, and he's like, that's like a monopoly. He can't do that.
So you can't do that with his the art that he owns.
How do you feel about Marvel and Fox, Ted?
Oh, I love
Love
it.
it.
Fantastic Four
I
reboot.
rate it.
John Hamm is Mr. Fantastic. Good casting.
No, I'm thinking you get Emily Blunt for Miss and John
We're
Krasinski.
still in the cold opening, Ted. Come on.
No, I thought you went right into it.
No.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another cold opening for
But I didn't
Nerd
get.
Soup.
I didn't get what I wanted to say.
This
What'd you
precedes the Nerd Soup podcast.
Let him get his time.
All right, here you go.
I'm at my house. Well, my mom's house.
Go straight to a story.
I'm at my mom's house. Me and Elena, and my mom and Elena were talking, and she's asking my mom for advice to how to get stains out of the carpet in reference to the oil stain I made from the
Air fryer?
Yeah.
Oh,
and this
wow.
is she had no idea that's from the oil. I kept telling her that it's from the vacuum. That the vacuum's like messing up the rug. So it's been happening like reoccurring. Like once a week she sees the black spot. And I'm like, listen, Elena, that's from me. It's from the oil.
That was me.
That's not dirt. It's not from the vacuum.
That was from the day when I was sitting there.
Yeah, when
you
I spilled
put-
the oil
you
on your
spilled
shoes.
on my shoe. That was
See?
great.
He's finally morphing into husband mode, you know? He's admitting his mistakes, slowly but surely.
Notes Teddy and husband Teddy.
Yeah.
You're growing up. Now, what's that story that you have about him? I guess we'll
save that.
tease that in the beginning.
Start your thing. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Nerd
Hello,
Soup,
everybody.
SoundCloud.
Welcome back to the Nerd Soup SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify. Find us. Questions, nerdsoup4u at Gmail. Teddy, Aaron, Bo, 3 of us. No Nash.
Thank God. No, I'm joking.
You're very mean to Nash.
It's funny.
Somebody commented on the last podcast. It's like, you guys do my boy Nash dirty.
Well,
You know
Aaron's
what it is?
more mean
Because
to Nash than to me.
remember
which
the
I like
theory
when
that you
Nash
had
is
about the hierarchy of how in the outside world Teddy is better than us, but when he's here, we become the cool kids.
Yeah.
I think Teddy usurps Nash, where Nash is at the bottom of that totem pole because Nash is the man
flips it.
outside of this.
Yeah, they flip it.
Right.
That's why I
right.
love when he's here.
Yeah.
I'm not the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
great.
right, exactly.
No, but like he puts on an act. Well, not an act, but like he watches what he says like towards me on the podcast. But outside, it's ruthless. It's just a nonstop 24/7.
Yeah, between you two, it's bad. It's really bad.
It's but
But I think you're a little worse.
no, we've had our back and
Nash,
forth, but it's fun.
A
All
drunk
in good
Nash
fun.
is the worst person you can ever insult because
Oh yeah, he'll go for
He-
your entire
yeah.
livelihood.
he'll dig deep and try and like
Deep.
rip your spine out
Deep.
through the front.
Yeah, let's dig deep.
I remember one time I was
out through
playing.
the front.
Yeah, like he'll go through your stomach to rip your spine out.
Go through the mouth and
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Jesus.
so we'll give a quick little
Oh,
rundown.
we're going
I'll
to
just
stories.
get the topics out there before we.
I was going to tell a Nash story about something mean he said to me, but I think it's so mean that I don't even want to relive it.
But it's been a while since our last podcast. We have the Avengers Endgame trailer that came out last week out of nowhere. We
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, Da-da-da. Keep going.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Guardians 3 getting James Gunn returning to direct.
I
I don't like that. I don't like the music. I don't know what you're trying
Oh,
to
I
do.
thought you were gonna say you don't like James Gunn. I thought you were gonna be one of those guys.
No.
Oh no.
I don't know why they rehired him. It's horrible.
We have So we have that. We have
I'll have to go hoodie
God.
Ted on this podcast right now.
hoodie. What? Let me get the topics out before you guys start. Toy Story
All
4
of a sudden,
trailer.
Thunder sounded
John
like
David
Hoodie Mello.
Washington cast in Christopher Nolan's new, and the zip up too. Christopher Nolan's new movie. It's pretty it. And I got, like you said before.
You look like fucking Eminem getting ready to battle.
Yeah, please, you're distracting everybody.
Palms are sweaty.
Oh,
Damn.
Mom spaghetti. The
And at
mom
the end,
spaghetti.
stick around. After questions, I have 2 all-time Teddy stories that I tweezed on Twitter.
Only one.
You tweezed
2
them?
all-time Teddy stories.
I was gonna say, but
And then
I
after
didn't want
that,
to start.
me and Teddy will talk a little bit about Triple Frontier. We're a little
Loved it.
yeah, we're a little split on that.
Yeah,
so,
I saw it. I just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
You did see it?
No.
We'll save it for the end. We'll probably want to get into spoilers, so we'll do that.
Good actors.
That's a tease. So we in the biz call a tease. So stick around
A
to the
tweezer.
end.
This was a
Tease-
rough
tease
opening for
tweeze.
Aaron just now.
Because you guys keep
With
fucking
us.
talking.
I know. I'm
You're-
saying like us, like interrupting you.
Well, I'm a professional, and I didn't let it phase me.
You powered right
so,
through that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the middle of the James Gunn story. He's like, listen, but the music, it's just, it's the
Well, it was very distracting. So what do you want
it's
me to
background music. I was
Did it
going to
Houd-
lower the audio in post-production.
Did a Houdini act through that just now?
You did fucking wiggle your way out of that. You're like, you know the Snake, the video game Snake, when you just,
do? Do I know the game Snake?
Nokia?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the game.
Game
dude.
that's on every phone since the invention
I
of
don't know.
phones.
Sometimes you don't know things. You have a surprising gap in your knowledge about.
What other game was on the Nokias?
You had a rough childhood.
I had a fine childhood, I think.
You say you didn't, but your mom and her food. Wasn't that a big problem with you growing up?
No, it was me being like, that was just me being like a whiny baby because my mom wanted to make vegetarians and have like clean water and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to drink fucking Dr. Peppers and eat fucking
Yeah, you're an American.
Dunkaroos. Yeah, she infringed on my right to be an American.
Somebody wrote that Dr. Pepper is like the barbecue sauce of sodas.
It's the best.
It's kind of what it tastes like.
Dark too.
Yeah.
Give
You
me
know,
a fucking crispy Dr. Pepper.
well,
from
you love
McDonald's.
dark soda. You really do.
No, I
Cherry Coke is the best.
I don't really drink I drink Coke Zero. It's probably the only soda I drink now in diet because I just
You can't do it, right? I
no.
haven't drank soda in about 5 years.
Because I stopped for a while, but when I like have one taste, I'm a fucking addict. It's like the dark sodas just take over me.
Is ginger ale considered a soda?
Yeah,
Because I had a
medicine-
stomach
medicine.
bug the past week, and I drank a lot of ginger ale.
It's like in the soda family.
it's medicine.
Yeah, I
it
consider
is.
it medicine,
Oh yeah,
right?
you got a messed up stomach, ginger ale.
Ginger ale and some soup.
Mhm.
Right. All right, yeah, so I guess we'll start with the Avengers trailer, right? That's a good can we squeeze Game of Thrones into the title somehow?
Ooh.
26 days until Game of Thrones.
Well, they did announce the updated runtime for episode 3.
Oh, right, updated runtime,
Yeah.
right, episode 3, that's our first story.
All
Actually,
right.
that should be our first story.
Okay.
82 minutes. Holy
Wow.
shit.
I had no idea that happened.
So now all of a sudden we have 4 episodes at an hour 20, back to back to back to back to finish off this show.
I don't know
And
what
that's
that
going to
means.
be their longest episode ever.
It makes sense. We were talking about how all the hype for the Battle of Winterfell, biggest battle of all time, bigger than Helm's Deep and all this stuff, and all the nights it took to fucking shoot and all this crazy stuff, and the budget. But it was like, oh, we saw the times. What was it, 57 minutes? Like, because
Right,
usually,
we were thinking that it was just going to run for like
Yeah.
50 minutes of that 57-minute runtime.
usually there's some setup. There's usually an ending to the big battles. There's something at the top and bottom, and then they gradually get into the battle. So we figured, oh, if it's going to be a 57-minute episode, they're just going to get right to it. But I think the hour and 22-minute runtime allows for some lead up to that battle.
Lead up and maybe something at the end.
Maybe.
I'm starting to think Granddaddy Ice is not fighting in this battle. I think he's got other plans. He's saying, you guys take care of this. I'm going south.
Is it diversion?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. And that theory that you mentioned on one of your videos, I guess,
Me?
I mean, we can mention it here. It's a podcast, right? About the Night King flying his dragon and destroying King's Landing and then resurrecting the Golden Company to flank them from the south.
You're looking at me. I didn't say that.
Well, I'm telling it to you.
Oh.
It's not his theory either.
no,
Oh.
I got it on the internet.
I was going to go with it. Like, yeah. Yeah, I know. So I said that.
Yeah, of course you are. But so I really like that theory. You know, two-front war didn't work for Hitler, didn't work for Napoleon.
It could be what diminishes Cersei.
So who ate?
She's acting so
So
nonchalant.
John's Hitler in this?
No, Daenerys. According to the comment section.
But no, that could lead to Cersei's downfall finally, how she's so nonchalant about the battle.
The ice, Russia, cold. Everything's
Exactly.
lining up
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah.
And then, the other side, not as cold.
No.
Jon Snow, not the tallest man. Napoleon was short. Yeah, but the runtime, that's exciting. Exciting news. That the finale is not going to be the longest episode, too. Because that's usually a given in television shows, that your finale is your longest episode always. And no, it's episode 3. Only about 2 minutes, but it's 82, 78, 80, 80. I can't believe the show is going to end.
Well, they kind of lost the...
It's so bittersweet.
Yeah, it does. That's like... It's like, oh, yeah, Game of Thrones about to end.
Yeah, you're so excited
season,
to see it, to see how it's going to end.
Yeah.
But then it's...
That's how Breaking Bad was for me.
It's done. Yeah.
But, like, they kind of strayed away from the penultimate episode, like the episode 9. Because I feel like the past couple seasons...
Well, they tried to do it in season 7.
Yeah, but I think...
It just wasn't the best episode.
The Dragon and the Wolf was still, like, one of the better episodes. Winds of Winter was still very fucking good and had a lot of shocking moments. Usually it's the huge, big episode at 9. 10 is still pretty good, but it's kind of wrapping it up and leading into next season, where I feel like 5, 6, 7... What was 5?
I think 10 just did it better than any other season. That there were a lot of things to wrap up. And
yeah.
There was, the final shot of season 6 is Daenerys sailing to Westeros.
Yeah.
So that's a huge cliffhanger. And Jon becoming king of the North and Cersei being crowned. Yeah, they have gone away from it. But season 7, that Beyond the Wall, it ended up being Spoils of War. Was kind of the classic penultimate.
Yeah.
Right. Well, season 8, it looks like we're going to... They said it last year, too. They tried to get slick. I think it was Jamie's actor. What?
I was really listening. Like, were they trying to get Nash's dad? What are you talking about?
Game of Thrones, Harry Strickland. Harry Slickman.
Oh, my God.
No, when they were like, we have 7 penultimate episodes this season.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 3.
Yeah.
This looks like we might get 4 or 5. So that's exciting. But yeah, let's go to the new Avengers trailer. It's so funny because I had no intentions to watch this trailer, and I wake up and the first text I have is Tony Stark back on Earth, and Teddy saying, "Oh, I guess Stark is back." Thanks, Ted.
I held out for like an hour, but then I'm like, I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Well, you guys kept sending me shit, and I was like, at this point, I might as well watch it.
Well, Teddy started, then I saw it. I'm like, oh wow.
I thought I was the last one to see it.
No, you were the first.
Yeah.
I'm honestly so mad I watched it. I saw so much stuff that I didn't want to see.
It's the first 15 minutes of the movie they're using, and you're not spoiling anything. Oh, Tony
Doesn't
Stark's
matter.
back on Earth. What, do you think he was just going to die in fucking space? No, of course he's back
I didn't
on
want
Earth.
to see him back with the team with no context. Like, I know he makes it back to the
Wait,
team. Don't show
Nebula
me
was
it.
wearing one of those suits too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I can't believe they showed Nebula.
No, I'm not upset about that. What I'm wondering is that do they know what she's responsible for? She's an intergalactic terrorist that's responsible for the deaths of
So is
hundreds
Darth
of
Vader,
thousands of
and
people.
we all
Yeah,
forgave
but she
him.
made up for it with the plane crash, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll give her that.
So is Gamora, technically.
She
She kind of
sullied?
righted her ways a little bit earlier, but before that...
Yeah, but we didn't see it.
You know, you got the quantum
It's different when you
suits.
don't see it. They got the quantum suits.
It just
You're
ruined
really
a bunch of
trying to
stuff.
apologize for Nebula here. Okay. The thing is, everybody keeps saying these characters are going to come back and that we know what's going to happen, but we don't know how it's going to happen. That's what's interesting. That's what's intriguing about this movie.
I just wish they didn't drop this trailer.
What, they didn't give away anything.
I didn't want to
There's
see
not
this.
that
so-
many
yeah,
spoilers. Thanos is not there.
No.
I saw the funniest comment. It was like the Avengers are going to go to his farm and be like, "Hey, Thanos, we want our friends back." And Thanos is inside in his home shoes. It was like, "Oh, y'all still mad about that? I'm a different person, man." That was a different Thanos. But he's hidden. They're not showing him at all. That's what I like, too, because I'm starting to wonder how big is his role in this movie. 3-hour runtime, so I'm assuming he's going to have a lot of screen time. But it looks like, it's interesting, it looks like it's going to be Cap's movie.
Mm-hmm.
And in Infinity War, what has he got, like 8 minutes of screen time?
Yeah, he was very
Which
much
I didn't
in the
mind.
background.
Right. But it looks like he's going to be at the forefront here, that it's his fight along with Tony.
It's easier, too. I mean, with half the characters gone.
Mm-hmm.
Even more than that. They got screwed on the ratio. I feel like everyone else was 50-50, but for the Avengers, I feel like 70% of them were fucking dusted.
Yeah.
Everyone on fucking Titan, besides Tony and Nebula,
Yeah.
they had a fucking squad, and everyone else was fucking perished.
Well, all the Guardians.
yeah.
You know, like 80%, 90% of the Guardians.
So my brother told me this theory that I kind of like. He thinks that what's going to happen is they're going to pretty much replay the whole fight on Wakanda, but in the meantime, they're going to be back in time snagging the stones before Thanos gets to Wakanda, and then as he shows up to Wakanda, he's not going to have the stones. That's
Right.
That's going to be their, like, how they win.
So it's a fair fight.
Yeah.
I would like to see it too, where it's Thanos's children are there, and they also have his army.
Because then I think, and plus it's going to ring true to what they said.
And all
with
the
trailer.
Avengers are there, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Hulk's going to be there. So that shot they showed in the first Avengers with Hulk is actually a real shot. It's not like they were trying to.
Well, the thing is, if Thanos
people.
doesn't have the gauntlet, he's no match for Captain Marvel.
He's no match for the Avengers, I feel like, if he doesn't have the gauntlet.
I
He
think
already
it's-
was no match.
Yeah,
Thor
they
fucking
won.
killed him. Well, if you aim for the head, he's fucking dead.
Right, with that weapon,
Yeah.
he's no match.
No.
But he's also, I mean, Captain Marvel can just one-on-one him and his boys. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't win.
Well, it depends.
So
I
that's
mean,
why I want to
he
see
wasn't
him
really-
with the gauntlet, and I kind of
Yeah.
want to see him matched up with Captain Marvel.
Oh, man, I want to see Captain America with that fucking hammer and that shield.
He ain't picking up the Stormbreaker.
Oh, no, he'll fucking perish.
Yeah, because
They
it's
had-
different. It's different.
They have to get Mjolnir back. He needs to pick that up. He needs to have the shield, and he needs to fucking baby Thanos. I don't know
Especially
how
if
it
he
happens,
dies.
but he needs to fucking whip him around.
Give Cap one last hurrah.
Yeah.
Well, Thor wasn't in one of the quantum suits, right?
Yeah, you know.
And Thor and Captain Marvel. Well, I'm saying, what are they changing with time? Because it looks like the scenes, the way that they're shot, it looks like different characters are leading. In one shot, it's Captain America, and in another shot, it looks like maybe Black Widow is near the front. That they're going back and they're trying and trying again. It's almost like Groundhog's Day, where they keep trying to change history. They fail, but they go back. They fail, they go back. So I wonder what is going to change. And now there's a theory about the Infinity Stones are going to create mutants. And that's how they bring in the X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I thought with the quantum realm. When they bring everybody back, they're gonna, the world itself, when they snap back reality, mutants are gonna come back.
And that makes it easy now to claim that Scarlet Witch is a mutant. If the Infinity Stones are what gives birth to mutants in the world, she is a child of the Infinity Stones, similar to Captain Marvel.
But it'd be weird because her and Quicksilver won't be Magneto's children.
Well, you can easily say that Magneto was their father. That in this alternate history, that family, that was Eric.
Oh.
That's an easy change.
Well, I guess that's a good lead into the other big news today.
Yeah, 4,000 people losing their jobs.
Officially.
It's Disney. The merger, not a merger really, the acquisition of Fox is complete. I kind of took Disney to task. I'm like, buy us next, you fucking cowards. But the rumor is they don't have enough money left, so
Yeah.
if you want to prove us wrong, you would send us like a $50 million check
Well,
just
then
to
half
show
of the-
people you still have it.
half of our
It's
employees
just stun
get
on
cut.
us.
Yeah.
It's just me and Aaron.
You pointing to where Nash
Where Nash usually sits. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of changes. So many. It's not even like we obviously like to focus on the X-Men, right, and like Deadpool and Fantastic Four. But it's so many different properties. Fucking, I'll say like Orville, Simpsons, fucking Alita Battle Angel now, fucking just anything you can think of. Everything that has Fox on it is now fucking Disney.
Yeah, and it does stink that all these people are going to lose their jobs. But you know what else stinks? Every iteration of the Fantastic Four on the big screen. So that's, listen,
I know a lot of the X-Men.
when people are like, oh, they're more concerned about X-Men coming over to the MCU than people losing their jobs. Guilty.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this company was going up anyway. It's not that
Unfortunately.
it was going up, but Rupert Murdoch was trying to sell this division. This was going to happen whether Disney bought them, whether Comcast bought them, whether any other mega corporation would have bought them. This was inevitable. So it's just a reality of the world we live in. You know, go out and start a revolution. Where's the next Che Guevara? I don't know what to, yeah, it sucks that these people are losing their jobs, but I've lost a job. You lost it. You got fired for breaking an elevator, right?
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, you weren't here.
No, I wasn't.
My restaurant job.
I'm glad you listened
yeah,
to the
I remember
podcast.
Yeah.
No, I remember that.
Okay. But
Pricks.
yeah, I guess just talking about what it means for movies and television.
Yeah, that's more
It's
important.
kind of like what we do.
Yeah, that's right.
Family.
Family Guy under the Disney moniker, that's weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be. There's still gonna be like a Fox channel, right? And you're still gonna have the.
Do they own Fox 5?
Like before the movies.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
wasn't it certain stations and stuff with Fox that they were getting? Like they weren't getting all of Fox.
There's so many like FX, FXX. It's Always Sunny.
Always
You have
Sunny,
talking
right.
about fucking Atlanta. There's so many different properties here, and I got confused because that's just.
That's for the bigwigs.
Yeah, that's not for me to
No.
decide. If they wanted my input on it, they would have asked me long ago. But I was just trying to figure out like what properties. Like obviously X-Men, that's the biggest one from my perspective. But I was reading over the list, I'm like, wow, this is a ton of shit. I can't remember all this. Just keep it the same, but just own it, I guess, from like a dumb brain perspective. Like,
Well, I think that's
it's
what
still
going to
be Fox 5. It's still going to be 20th Century
Yeah.
Fox, but, Mickey's at the top.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
I
pyramid
think,
scheme,
right. How often do you see Mickey Mouse when you're
It's a
watching?
That's what a pyramid scheme is, right?
No, no. Ted, can you explain it?
Pyramid scheme?
Explain what a pyramid scheme is,
Mm.
and then Monopoly. Yeah, I think what people don't realize is that Disney has these. They're an umbrella, the Disney Corporation.
Yeah, pyramid.
Yeah, sure.
Flip it upside down.
Yeah.
Just so a lot of these properties are going to stay the same. I think Bob Iger came out and said that Deadpool is still going to be rated R. He said it a couple of years ago when the deal was going through, and now that it's officially gone through, he said it a couple of months ago that as long as we market it the right way and we let people know who this is for, then we can keep Deadpool as rated R.
I think that's going to be the hardest thing for Disney to overcome is...
Well, I think they're going to separate the two.
Yeah.
It's going to be MCU, you can put that under the Disney umbrella because even though it's PG-13 and they have their darker moments, it's still family-friendly. And I think, to an extent, movies like The Dark Knight, that's a family-friendly movie. You can take 10-year-old to go see The Dark Knight.
I just can't wait for the
think you can.
controversy because you know what's going to happen. Where
Well,
they're going to put a movie out and then Disney will get shit because it wasn't like a Disney type of movie.
Disney gets
but-
shit for everything,
I know.
but they've
Well, that's
done
why you
R-rated
blanket it under.
before.
Yeah.
It's not
Miramax, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
Disney.
like but they're still gonna have they're gonna let Family Guy do their thing. They're not gonna be watching over. Oh, you got to make it more Disney friendly. Oh, they'll keep it with the Fox, but when you want to integrate X-Men and Deadpool into the larger MCU, then there are probably gonna be some sacrifices. There's gonna be a whole new recast, so you can
Which is welcomed.
yeah. And with Deadpool, you can have him do his own thing. He's a character where he doesn't have to make sense. Like that's just.
And I also don't think he's an Avenger.
No, exactly. But
I was just going to
Deadpool.
ask if you think he's going to join
But fucking Deadpool.
MCU now.
No, Deadpool could have a movie, and you could just fucking Chris Evans can walk in, and it's just breaking the fourth. Like he doesn't have to stick to the guidelines of the created universe. And if he wants to show up in a fucking Avengers movie, he doesn't have to be. Hey, what's up, fuckers? He could just be like, just
Yeah, they
Deadpool
bleep him
at
out.
PG-13.
It would be hilarious if they bleeped him out.
that might be too much. Kind of just breaking.
No, well, not the whole time. But if
Yeah.
he tried to say it once, he's like, oh. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't say. It would be cool to see
they'll
him
keep
pop
him
up
on
in a
his-
Spider-Man movie.
But it's also the fact
Yeah.
that they can do that. They can bring these guys in now without having any problems.
Right.
if
I
they
think
want
what's
to.
interesting now, too, is that all the X-Men characters from the Deadpool movies, do they stay the same? Does Josh Brolin come back as Cable? Because those are the characters that you can integrate into.
All you have to do for
easily.
that is Ryan Reynolds is the only character that returns, and he's like, oh, guess I'm he
But
can
the
make
thing
a
is-
joke about it.
Right, but
And
those
Cable
characters
can come in as fucking
But those characters haven't appeared in any other X-Men movies. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You don't have to reboot those guys.
They were only in the Deadpool movies.
But I'm saying
Right.
like Cable can be fucking played by
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski, and he'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that could happen. No, you don't have to keep any continuity
Yeah.
with Deadpool, but those characters they haven't been in those other X-Men movies. So you can keep Domino, I feel like. You can just keep those guys.
But now, I mean, I guess we can use this as a transition, but do you think now that James Gunn is back, he can kind of rewrite Guardians and maybe bring X-Men into Guardians?
That's a huge movie. I think Guardians 3 is going to be more focused on the Guardians and how they deal with Endgame.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is James Gunn can write, if he wants to, he can write X-Men into Guardians, and that
It's
can
two
be
different universes. It's not even. They're going to be off doing.
Yeah, but they're part of the. Yeah, but they're in the cosmic universe now. I mean, pretty much anything can happen.
Yeah,
but X-Men they're bound to Earth.
Yeah.
More so.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix, it looks like it's going to get more cosmic. And the Dark Phoenix story is about a cosmic entity that comes and manipulates Jean Grey.
There could be connections, but I'm not like Wolverine's not going to be chilling with Groot.
No.
You know.
Although,
Wait a minute.
maybe Teddy's onto something.
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest surprise, though, of the past week. James Gunn coming back. I couldn't believe that. I thought it was a joke when I first saw it. But you know what's funny is after the fact, it seems inevitable that he was the only person that could have made this movie
They
because
kept
his
the
DNA
script.
is all over these films. Yeah, they kept
Disney
the
would have
script.
looked like fucking hypocrites if they kept his script. Oh, they did these things, and it's so bad for Disney. You can't.
Well, I'm
direct
sure
our
James
movies,
Gunn wouldn't mind.
but we'll keep our script. But
No,
So I'm still
I'm
gonna
just
check.
saying, yeah, but come on.
In hindsight, Disney's gonna say, like in the public, this was like a premature firing, but I guarantee you that this only happened because they couldn't find anybody, and Taika Waititi backed out.
They said they didn't even look. I think they said they didn't even look. I think
That could be it. Yeah.
Travis Knight was loosely connected, but they're probably like, what are we doing?
Right. I think it was a combination of both, where they thought, okay, who can we get to replace James Gunn? And then they realized no one, because these are so much his movies, especially Guardians 2. I think that's the biggest criticism, is that it's so detached from the rest of the MCU, and they gave him this free reign, and it wasn't as clever or tight as the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you guys like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
I've seen a lot more support of it of late.
For the most part, a lot of people like it.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I didn't like as much as the first
It's not
one.
as good as the first one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
People have it like, it's big ranking season, right? With Infinity War coming out. People love that movie, so.
Well, that one really has nothing to do with... I mean, obviously Thanos and Gamora kind of sets that up a bit with Nebula as well, but that's a very independent movie where you can skip that one for your rewatch.
Fucking Star-Lord was a fucking ultra superhero for like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he was
It's
fucking
very
Pac-Man.
strange,
Like, what
right.
that's not supposed to make sense.
Everybody says
but-
the first Guardians is so bonkers and weird. The second one is much weirder.
Yeah, and you had like, they were going through the wormhole and their faces were going
Yeah,
crazy.
that's my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
I just liked Ego.
No, Ego was
was
great.
nice.
Great villain, yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt
Except when he
Russell,
did
I
the
mean.
fucking
the David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. That was
it was such a great moment,
such
too.
a great moment. But yeah, I feel like too, like the outrage over James Gunn. I feel like when it first happened, people were very like, it was pretty split. Like, you had people upset and people who didn't want to see him go. But now when he came back, I felt like everyone's like, oh, why were we mad? Oh, okay, he's
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Like, people kind of just like, oh,
He had a
so long ago. Yeah, come back,
Can't
James
say it.
Gunn.
He had a sincere apology. I gotta say it better now.
No, he's had like 3 sincere apologies.
Yeah.
That's what's so messed up about the whole situation, is that he apologized for it like 7 years ago. And I always use the Vicky test. Vicky, my sister. If I texted Vicky right now and said, hey, James Gunn is coming back for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, she would say, who, what now? The public didn't care about this. Disney made it a national story by firing him. Because this story would have came and went if they never addressed it back in July. And James Gunn would have been happily still involved with the MCU. And now it's kind of when you get back with your ex, but things are a little bit awkward.
Well,
because he's been with the other side.
Well, that's the thing too. He made out like a fucking bandit. He's coming back to Guardians, and now he has
he finessed both of them.
Now he's in
now he's
another
getting Suicide,
superhero
yeah.
franchise, the Suicide Squad, which
He's gonna bless them.
Guess we'll talk about quick.
That never would have happened if he didn't get fired.
It's a complete reboot now.
Got the 2 bags.
You hear about that?
Yeah, complete reboot. Which is weird too, because I like that cast. The cast wasn't the problem with that movie. It was the director. They got a better director
writing,
and writer.
yeah.
I think Will Smith was great as Deadshot. Harley Quinn. It's just so weird because she's got her movie coming out. She was in another iteration of the Suicide Squad. It's a reboot?
It kind of sucks. Like I want to see like James Gunn's version of this, but just Warner Brothers and the DCEU as a whole. I'm so like, I love DC, and just that move alone, like rebooting Suicide Squad already and just not really caring, and looking over and seeing what Marvel's been able to do for the past 21 movies and how it's so like, yeah, you have Guardians Volume 2, like we were just talking about, how they don't really connect, but as a larger story, how seamless they all seem to be. And with this, it's just like, what's going on? But I'm excited to see James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And Shazam, from all accounts, is getting good reviews. Me and Teddy are actually seeing it Saturday.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's I
Not
can't go.
Can't wait. No, I
Can't
said I
go.
can't wait.
And I didn't like Aquaman too much, but people seem to like it. It made a lot of money. So maybe they can kind of use this with Wonder Woman 1984 and kind of 88 or 84. I don't know.
84.
The 80s. And kind of revamp this thing. So let's see.
Another reason why I love this too, because Marvel's going to need another director and Marvel movie to go into the next phase. And since you're not going to have Captain or Iron Man, Guardians can be a good crutch. Like, 'cause you can't lean on Captain and Iron Man anymore because they're going to be out. Having Gunn and Guardians is a good crutch to have because they do so well.
Yeah, it's well, Bo was talking on Twitter about they were saying Captain Marvel might be the next leader going into the next. What do you say? It's phase 1.
Phase 1 is the Infinity Saga.
It's Infinity Saga. So
Phase 1 through 3.
So for the next saga, it's going to be Captain Marvel, and Bo made a good point on Twitter about how that makes sense because she can be cosmic and earthbound like that.
Right.
She can kind of and go back and forth, and then you can have the Guardians and the cosmic, Captain Marvel in the middle, and then the Earth stuff, you have the fucking X-Men. You have an unlimited group of characters you
Right.
can work with. So
It's
you have
also
fucking
nice
Thor.
that he can finish his trilogy
Thor
too.
just goes, he can do what he wants with his hammer
He's jumping around.
and his crazy hair.
What were you saying, Ted?
I said it's also nice that he can finish his trilogy too.
Yeah.
He didn't get left short on 2.
Well, it looks like the movie's going to be pushed back anyway. I think originally it was supposed to come out in 2020, and then they were going to start filming this year. It looks like it's not going to start
After
filming
Spider-Man, what's happening? What's coming out?
Well, they have Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2 is
That's
obviously coming out.
2020?
What's coming out in 2020?
Yeah, because I feel like we
What's
have this Spider-Man
filming this
and-
year? I'm not sure what's filming this year. We might only get one in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted, look that up. You got the computer.
Yeah, no, it's Ted.
No, it's Teddy. I've never seen a person more focused than when Ted just turned to his fucking laptop. Got the fucking sweatshirt string in his mouth.
What else we got?
Well, I'm thinking phases 4, 5, and 6. That's got to be the Annihilation Saga. You bring in some of the big daddies like Annihilus, and you bring in Galactus. You get really cosmic with the next phase, because it's so funny too. When you look at the early Phase 1 movies, they feel so small by comparison. Where we are now, it's these movies are going to be massive. I feel like it's just going to be $1 billion, $1 billion, $1 billion every movie they release. Because look at, you think Captain Marvel hits $1 billion?
It's getting close. It's going to be very close. So
Where is it right now?
It's got to be in like the
almost
600s,
8.
right? It's almost 8?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Black Panther 2, Nova, Planet Hulk,
Dude, people are so annoying. with
Captain Marvel 2, She-Hulk.
Where is this?
I hope it's something's right.
Oh, actually,
Black
This looks
Widow.
like an
yeah, this looks
article.
like a wish list. But
Oh.
Black Widow, Mike. That's a
Doctor Strange
Black
2,
one that I
Widow,
got right. Black Widow might come out in 2020.
Runaways.
What's
This is like a 2013 wish.
Screen Rant list? Movies that could be made.
Black Panther.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, here we go.
it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And what do we got? Toy Story 4.
I hate that.
I don't even.
I didn't
wanna
watch
talk
the trailer.
about it. I
I
didn't
don't
watch
wanna
the
talk
trailer.
about
either.
Really?
I watched it, and it makes me so mad that they're doing this. They're going to ruin the greatest trilogy of all time.
How do you know?
Like, you can just tell by the story that they're going in.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't
Wait,
watch
have
it?
you seen the
No, I
trailer?
didn't watch
Yeah.
the trailer.
Okay.
I didn't see the third movie.
Can you break down the trailer? You haven't seen Toy Story 3?
Didn't we go over this already when I said we were in the
Yeah,
trust
but it's
tree?
still surprising every time you say it.
In the
Yeah.
trailer. So
I was waiting.
I
for
would have
four-
thought by now you have seen it
I was waiting for 4. I was
after
gonna
that
watch,
public
I was
ignominy. I
gonna
mean, holy shit.
rewatch all of them.
So that fork.
After 4, you were going to rewatch
No,
all of them?
before 4.
Before 4?
Yes.
4 for 4.
So that fork.
How many 4 for 4s you want?
At the end of 3, when they all go to that girl's house, I forget her name. Like, all the toys get put in that box
Is
for
her
the
name
girl.
Molly or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 from what I hear had like
Uh,
a perfect ending.
The girl.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was. The girl makes like a toy out of a spork. Like, she put eyes on it and like wrapped arms.
Yeah, 4.
And it becomes alive. But to the toys and to Molly, Sporky is a toy, but he thinks that he's a utensil.
Mm.
So he thinks he's supposed to be used and then thrown away. He's not used to being a toy. So he runs away pretty much and like throws himself out. And then Woody goes after him. And then on his way to find Sporky, they get like brought to like a circus or carnival or something, and he sees Bo again.
Bo Peep.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I thought you were in the movie.
Yeah, and
Little
then
toy cricket.
she tries to convince Woody to stay.
Oh, you've seen the
carnival.
movie?
This is all in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All in the trailer.
Okay. Well,
And then Woody ends up staying for extended time, and then all the toys trying to go find Woody,
So it's Toy Story 2.
essentially.
The villain looks creepy. The villain is that little girl toy, right? She's got like the 2 minions behind her. I don't know. I saw the poster.
No, it looks like the villain is gonna be Bo Peep.
ooh.
That's a twist.
Yeah,
Well, she's got a new fit in this one.
yeah.
She don't got
She's
the
looking
skirt
good.
anymore. Yeah. She's got like fucking Under Armour gear.
Tomb Raider esque.
Yeah, right. So I see you, Bo Peep.
All right, let's skip to John David Washington cast in Nolan. The new Nolan movie supposed to be a action blockbuster.
An action romantic thriller, but that was
No,
debunked,
they said
right?
no romantic. Yeah, now it's just gonna be an action.
That sounded really
blockbuster.
interesting.
Yeah, who
Romantic
knows?
blockbuster thriller.
Who knows what he's planning?
Yeah, that Nolan. That
He's
wacky guy.
Crazy.
I can't believe Inception 2 is coming out. John David Washington. Good
Yeah.
actor.
It's
Working with
fun.
Christopher Nolan. And you know he's going to get his regulars. Cillian Murphy's going to be in this.
Like
And
Tom
Michael
Hardy,
Caine is going
yeah.
to be like a 5-minute scene where he explains something.
Yeah.
and Tom Hardy is gonna be. I love her, but
Nah, it's good, man. I mean, he was good in Black Klansman, so he's kind of parlaying that now. He's in a fucking Nolan movie, so he's on the rise now. I think he has been, especially with Ballers. I was trying to think, like, maybe Christopher Nolan saw Black Klansman and is like, oh, man, he's really good. I want him in my next movie.
no, he saw Ballers.
But then he's probably watching HBO Sunday nights.
This is delightful.
Yeah.
I like this.
Watching
young
Ballers. He's like, no, yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need. But, yeah, anytime it's a Nolan movie, it's just...
You think he tried to get The Rock first? Imagine that. Imagine The Rock needs to work with a big director like that in an action movie. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah.
He needs to get into something good, please, because I like him so much.
Mission Impossible.
Like, if you got The
Fuck
Rock in, like, a Rambo movie, but, like, a good Rambo, like what Rambo was. But
So just
The Rock in
reboot
it.
Rambo with The Rock.
Yeah.
James Cameron, Terminator with The Rock.
Yo,
Hobbs and Shaw looks good.
Yeah.
Michael Bay Terminator.
Oh,
No,
boy.
you're the opposite of what I just said. That's the opposite, Ted.
Oh, Ted.
Dumbledore and Grindelwald, huh?
Oh, boy. Can we talk about that for a little bit?
Sure.
What is she doing?
I don't know. I don't like. Obviously, I didn't read the book, so I really don't. I don't get it. Because apparently, I guess from what I've gathered on the internet, Twitter's a weird place to get news because you'll see something trending, you'll click it, and it'll take you like 10 minutes of scrolling through the reactions to finally find out what the fuck is going on. So from what I gathered from it is that, like, it's not in the books or anything, but like I think fans have theorized about this, and she like kind of just confirmed it after the fact, and now people are upset because, all right, that's all well and good, but why don't you write it in your books? Not trying to, I guess, not profit, but receive.
Well, the thing is, this started years ago when
Yeah.
somebody asked her. It was a fan. She was speaking at some convention, and somebody asked her, the way that you write Dumbledore, he's always wearing these robes, and he's very elegant. Is he gay? And it got J.K. Rowling thinking in the moment, like, yeah, he probably is, because I think the only person he loved was Grindelwald. And their backstory is so interesting. The fact that they didn't focus on that instead of doing these Fantastic Beasts movies is very unfortunate, because it is very complex, and Dumbledore went down a path that was really dark. But the way she described it was that he was in love with his mind, who he was, that it was almost like Sherlock falling in love with Irene Adler. It wasn't physical, it was mental, that he just respected this person so much, and he became obsessed with him, and that's why he went down this dark path, because he was being manipulated by this man's genius. But now she comes out and she makes these statements, like a couple months ago when she said that students were getting rid of their...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that they weren't using the bathrooms, they were just using spells to get rid of the shit that was in their pants.
I mean,
It's efficient.
yeah. I wouldn't hate it.
Right, but then she
Where's
comes
it all
out...
going, though?
But the thing is, like, when you
Space.
say that these two people are in a relationship, it's like, okay, you did it after the fact. It would have been better if maybe you set this up in the novels, because representation does matter. But now she's coming out saying, yeah, it was really physical and intense.
So she's just
We
making
can-
it up to be like, oh, look how great I am. I'm
Yeah, like
so
she
ahead of my
thought-
time.
like
I
she
put this
thought
in
of
my
it.
novel.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling seems like a really good person.
No,
I
I'm
think,
not.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I feel like it's just getting caught in a moment. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this little thing she said, and it's kind of expanded to this, and she kind of just let it get out of
retroactively
hand.
trying to
Yeah.
appease an audience. And-
The memes, though, were fucking
oh, the
outrageous.
memes. Keep doing it, J.K., because those
Yeah.
memes were amazing.
I was trying to think, too, because, like, I didn't read the books, but I was trying to relate it to, like, oh, maybe because in Song of Ice and Fire, it's never really out in the open that it's
With Renly?
Renly and Loras. The show expanded on it more. But I feel like George had that. I don't know. Is there a difference between that? Just asking you, you reading both of them?
Well, the thing is, in the books, it's not set up at all.
Yeah.
Grindelwald he might be mentioned a handful of times in the books, because it's more about, he's mentioned in the Deathly Hallows, where they talk about what they were trying to do, finding the Deathly Hallows, but they don't mention that they were in love at all.
Mm-hmm.
They were friends, they were close friends, and then they had a falling out. So
But
in the
Renly-
books, it's...
Well, Renly and Loras, too, it's never explicitly
Yeah, but there's
said,
a lot of
but
things in the books that aren't explicitly
Yeah.
said, but we can just pick them up as readers, because I think George
George
trusts
said
the
it right
audience.
away. Like, I think he said it like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
Right, it wasn't something that the show did, and then he was like, "Yep, that's what I meant."
Yeah,
it
okay.
was.
I
I intended this. He's done that too with other things. It's like Theon's dick.
Yeah.
It's never explicitly said in the books that he chopped off the dick, but we can the context
We
clues.
assume he did.
Yeah, we pick up the context clues that Renly and Loras had a little thing going on.
And, yeah, the memes are outrageous. What else is there? Twitter was weird. Shane Dawson
What was your favorite one?
didn't come on his cat.
I love that too. And it was like no one, J.K. Rowling, Shane Dawson came on his cat.
I was just
That
thinking
tweet
too.
was so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Like the other side of YouTube is crazy. I was just thinking like if Chris Stuckman like tweeted, I did not like that he didn't nut on his gerbil. Like that would just be so weird. That's what other side of YouTube is. They're beefing, they're fighting, they're rap battling, they're making conspiracy theories and nutting on cats.
No, but those big
And
YouTubers
we're talking about movies.
those big YouTubers are like almost rock stars in that they're nuts. When you look at all the big guys, PewDiePie, Lunatic, Shane Dawson, Madman, they're out of their minds. Logan Paul, the stuff that they do, the videos they make, they become egomaniacs. And then, did you listen to the audio
Oh, with
when he was talking about
the
his cat?
He might. I think.
He might have nutted on that cat. The way that he was like, I took its little chicken legs and I separated them. And
But he's trying to say it was set up as a joke. It didn't have any of the, I guess, and I'm not.
I missed all
I'm
this.
not a professional joke teller, but usually
Pretty happy I
there's a
did.
certain cadence you follow. It sounded like he was scared to tell that story. It's like
Yes.
and
But the details too, the details weren't like he pre-planned them. Like it felt like this really happened, that he was just recalling something that he did.
Well, from what you said, if you're saying it without hesitation, then he kind of like, I guess maybe he doesn't care.
I
and
don't know. I
it's
gotta
fake.
give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I watched a couple of his videos. He did the big documentary. He seems like a regular nice guy. So, but the video, the way the story
The
is
cat
kind of.
didn't afraid.
Oh my god, there was something that's like it's like PETA showing up to the store. It's like a cat memes with that one. Big time week for
Tom
memes.
calling the cops.
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry.
between the Shane Dawson
What
and
was your favorite J.K. Rowling tweet? Mine was Sorting Hat eats ass. Because I could see the Sorting Hat eating ass. That voice. Gryffindor.
no, I saw one Sorting Hat's an anti-vaxxer.
I could see that too, yeah. I was gonna tweet Hermione pegs Ron, and I was like, I'm not going down that road. And then somebody else tweeted it and got like 1,000 retweets.
So funny. I was what was one of them I saw? I don't know. There were a couple. There were a few that were just. There were just so many. You can't like just like, oh my god, one after
It was
another.
great. I was scrolling
Nash
on it for
even
like
got
20 minutes.
involved
Yeah,
in it?
yeah. Moaning Myrtle into butt stuff.
Hagrid pays for premium Snapchats.
I could see that too. Yeah. Some freaky ones too, man. Like mythical creatures. Hagrid was a freak. Ollivander's dildos. Dildo chooses the wizard. Yeah, but
Oh, there was one. It was Harry deep throat a whole Nimbus.
I like the
3000.
one. Yeah. Dobby could deep throat. Yeah. Somebody said the Elder Wand was Dumbledore's butt beads.
Jesus.
But the way that the Elder Wand is designed, it's got like
Yeah, I know.
beads on it. Yeah.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I know,
A
I've seen the
can of
movies.
worms.
Okay,
She probably didn't expect this.
I
Maybe she
feel
did. That's
she gets a
fucking
lot of shit from the Harry Potter fans.
free marketing. Well, no one hates their own franchise more than the fans. It's like The Simpsons.
God, yeah, that Simpsons joke was amazing.
It's like, you better watch out for the comic book guy. His favorite thing is Star Wars, and he fucking
he fucking hates
and
Star
he
Wars.
hates Star Wars. I don't think Lisa's dropping f-bombs, but that rings so true.
That's 100% true. That nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to fan questions here. We got
Yes.
all the main stories. All right, this question here comes from
Out of all
Mother-
this big fucking news, Endgame trailers, Game of Thrones, fucking Fox Disney merger, we get like more animate and excited about fucking
J.K. Rowling.
J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling and Shane Dawson's cat.
Wait, you want to do
After-
Frontier or after?
After.
Fan?
We'll
Yeah,
save
after.
it for the end because we'll talk spoilers in that way. If you didn't see it yet,
Just
I
get,
can
yeah,
just fucking.
turn
Wait,
it off.
before we go to fan questions, let's hear that Teddy story.
I was waiting
You
for
know
after.
we were getting out of it, huh?
I was waiting for after fan questions. You want to go a little pre-fan?
Well, I
Teddy
feel
story?
like people are. How much of the audience is still here at this point?
I think we drew them back in. They were
yeah.
they were about to click out, and Chris Stuckman,
I think
not
you
his
put-
hamster.
About his gerbil getting stuck in his ass.
Yeah,
That's why they call him Stuckman.
I'm thinking you put Thrones like
He
towards
looks
the
like
end.
a gerbil guy. Is that?
Stuckman looks like a gerbil guy.
He has a couple gerbils.
Is there a way you can make it
Named
so
him,
the fans
Benjamin.
can't fast forward and put Thrones at the end? So they have to listen to the whole thing.
You can Ted, just relax. People listen throughout.
Ted is always trying to cook up fucking business.
'Cause I
ideas, yeah.
teased-
He'll
I
text
te-
me in the middle of the night and be like, "Yo, I got a business idea."
Yo, you up?
I teased the story in the beginning, so I mean, a good tease has a payoff. So they're waiting. They're on the edge of their seats.
So you want to do it before fan questions? You want to keep them waiting even more? This is like when Ryan Seacrest is like,
should I go one story before
after the break.
one after? I have 2 stories.
I'd say give the big one now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one I teased on Twitter, but then Nash commented on it. It's like, are we talking about the thing from the other night?
I love how
I'm
you
like-
guys have 2 different stories.
I'm like,
in your
yo, I
heads.
completely forgot about that other story.
That's amazing.
All right.
I really
Let's
don't
hear
want
it.
you to tell this one.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's a
It's a doozy.
It's not
Yeah.
that big of a fucking deal. You're making it
It's-
such a big deal.
No, yeah, I
it's
think-
not that big
I
of a
think
deal.
it's at the point
it's
now
pissing
where
me off
it's-
that you're getting so worked
All right,
up
I'm
about
hungry,
it.
so we need to finish.
All right.
We need to wrap this up.
so
We don't have much time for fan
it's like
questions.
7:00. I think it's Thursday. I go back. I think I just finished eating. I went to the bathroom. Whatever I do, I check my phone and I see I have a missed call. I guess I don't know my whole fucking routine. See, I got a missed call from Teddy.
This already sounds amazing.
So I'm like, oh, Teddy, like, you know, what does he want? What can Teddy possibly? What you know?
Oh, this one.
Let me talk to Teddy. Yeah, he likes
You've
this
got a
one.
third
Yeah.
story in your.
No. The other story is the one I don't want to say.
Okay.
So I call him back. Doesn't even say hi. He's like, I could fucking kill you right now. And in my head, I'm like, oh, what did I do? Did I do something? Is he mad at me because I made fun of him on Twitter? Like, what did I do? I'm like nervous. It's like, you fucking kidding me, right? I'm like, oh, here it is. Like, he's gonna fucking kill me. I did something. I don't know what it is, but I did something so wrong to get this man this upset that he's yelling at me on the phone. I'm like, Teddy, what's wrong? It's like, you piece of shit.
Okay, I didn't say that. You're
Yes,
getting a
you
little
did.
fucking.
Yes, you did. You're like,
Yeah.
I reached over to answer the phone. I knocked over my Velvetas, and now they're stuck in between the seat, and I can't reach them.
I had the Belvitas on my leg as I'm driving, so I'm breaking a piece and eating it. It's like sitting over here, like I have half the package open,
Right.
so I'm like breaking it off and eating. So I called Aaron on my way home from work, and he didn't answer. So I put the phone on the seat. And as I'm driving, I'm eating, and then Aaron calls me. So I reach over like that, and the fucking Belvitas twist and turn and go right down the side of the seat.
But he's angry at
And I
me.
couldn't reach him. I couldn't grab him.
No. The best thing.
I was starving.
I'm like, that's my fault. I'm like, Teddy, like, why are you yelling at me? That's my fault. It's like, yeah, if you only answered the first time, this never would have happened.
He calls me back 2 seconds after I call him.
I didn't answer.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I'd rather you not even call me back or just text me.
And then,
That's what I do.
still angry.
I don't
Doesn't
even
miss a
text.
beat. I'm like, all right, Teddy, why'd you call? It's like, want to see if you want to get dinner and watch your net game. I'm a big net guy now.
I was
In
joking
the
about that.
same voice.
I was
yelling at
joking
me.
about that.
Are
I'm
you
not a
in-
net
you're
guy?
really-
No, I was just saying that because I don't know.
You're one of the
It was
worst.
a
Because
joke.
that's Nash now too. Nash all of a
being a-
sudden
I was
he's a
just
Nets
joking
fan
around.
because they're
But
the
it
8th
didn't
seed.
come out of joke. He still had the same tone and still anger in his voice at me.
No, it was Nets Thunder.
Yeah, it's a good game. Yeah, it's a good game.
But
Who
the
won?
fact,
Nets.
good
Oh,
for
that's
you.
when Westbrook got the 16th technical, right?
I don't know. I think so.
But the fact that he got so angry at me for not picking up and then blaming me for not picking up the first time, it just blew my mind. I'm like, who thinks like that?
Do you blame me for being mad? I didn't eat all day, and I'm eating my Belvitas.
Be mad, be angry. If I drop my food, trust
And
me.
I drop him in the seat, and
Trust
I
me.
can't even get him.
I
again.
don't blame you for being mad, but I do think you're ridiculous.
I'm a human being.
About being mad.
That look of contempt that you just gave me. Yeah, you're out of your mind.
I'm a human being. I get
I
angry
could
if I
fucking
drop food.
kill you right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't eat all day.
Why don't you call me for dinner?
You wouldn't go.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, second story.
It's a call.
This is the good one. This is the good
No,
one.
this one's not that big of a deal. And this is the one he's exaggerating.
It's
about.
ridiculous.
No, let's do fan questions.
Yeah, let's do fan
I'll give it to you after.
Yeah.
No.
All right. The
right,
fact
this-
that he doesn't want me to say it, you should stick around.
This question here comes from Mother of Dragons at Jador Jacqueline. Only asking the important Game of Thrones season 8 questions. Who do you all think ends up with Harrenhal in the end? LOL, love you guys, and please never stop the sports references. Who gets Harrenhal?
Gendry.
Kendrick gets Harrenhal. It would be funny.
Nah, he'll probably get Storm's End.
Robin Aaron. Name him the Lord of Harrenhal and the Vale. Well, Harrenhal falls under what jurisdiction? It's the Riverlands, right? Are there Tullys left?
Who has it right now? Does anyone have it right now?
Who knows who has it? Harrenhal is so the ownership of Harrenhal just
don't
it's up
know.
in the air.
What's like the last thing? Like Tyrion probably needs something from like.
The Night King.
No,
Listen, if you stop this right
Yeah.
now, we'll
I'll
give you
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal.
It's yours.
like a random foot soldier. It's like, I need you to deliver this message.
Oh, that would be perfect.
And when
if
you come
Bronn-
back, you.
that's the castle that Braun gets.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
That's
It's
perfect.
the only fitting. It's the only one that they
Yeah,
haven't
but Jamie
offered him.
dies and he doesn't get it though.
It's still not a castle.
That'd be perfect.
Oh, this question here comes from Abigail at Abby95. What's one thing on each of your bucket lists?
Do you consider like a bucket list thing that's like you really want to happen, but it might not happen. Because like skydiving is on mine, but I'm gonna end up going skydiving.
Yeah, I think a bucket list is something that it's kind of practical.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you saying? Like you win American Idol?
No. No, like skydiving is.
Okay, yeah.
Is that a bucket list thing?
Yeah, it's a bucket
It's very
list thing.
doable.
No, yeah. I think it has to be to an extent. It has to go to China.
Yeah.
Go visit the Great Wall of China. You'll see the 7 wonders of the world. For me, it's
It's like I want to see the Jets win a Super Bowl before I die, but I have no hand in that.
right. Bucket
Yeah.
list has to be something that you have control over.
Mhm.
See the Coliseum.
Do a handstand.
It's right on Hempstead Turnpike, Ted.
Nassau Coliseum. Go see the Statue of Liberty in Las Vegas. Bill Walton. Did you hear about that?
No.
He's doing the. First of all, Bill Walton is the greatest human being who's ever lived. His color commentary is the best. He goes, before the game, I went to visit the Statue of Liberty. I just love that we live in a country with freedom. He's calling the game in Las Vegas. He went to visit the Statue of Liberty in front of the New York casino.
Let's go.
And he goes, there was one tweet, Bill Walton, and that's why the Nazis lost World War II. David Pash, timeout on the floor. But I think skydiving is something that I definitely want to do. Yeah, there's mostly travel, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to go to Rome. I'd like to see the Coliseum. Like
Well, I
you
always
said.
hear like cool events.
I'm going to the Vatican for the honeymoon. Well, that's not. That's, during the honeymoon, we're gonna end up going to the Vatican
Oh God.
to see the.
Okay, I'm glad you're not
Sistine Chapel.
specifically going to the Vatican
Yeah.
City.
No.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I
You
can't
guys are
wait.
going to Italy for your honeymoon?
Yeah,
That's awesome. Were you Rome?
yeah. We're gonna do Rome.
So is that like some weird Roman
Venice.
Catholic thing? Once you get married, you gotta go see the Pope.
It's like Teddy's being sucked into this.
What's crazy in the Vatican, in the Sistine Chapel, you can't have any phones. You can't take a picture. Nothing.
Yeah.
And they just like repainted the
God will
ceiling.
know if you do. So don't try
Like-
to sneak anything, Ted.
I'll try and take a picture.
Get a picture, man.
I'm gonna try.
You got to be able to squeeze one.
Then when he dies, he's like at the gates. St. Peter's like, yeah,
What's this?
Pretty good. Ooh. You didn't see the sign that said no flash photography?
The flash was
Come on.
off. It said no flash.
All right.
It's like, sorry. Is it Peter or Paul? Is this? I'm not.
That controls the gates of hell?
Yeah.
I mean, gates of hell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who controls the gates of hell.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
What's Patrick's deal?
I'll
in
talk
this?
to him. I'll get in there.
What's Patrick? What is he doing?
I'm
Peter
a
was
big,
the rabbit.
I'm a big Job guy. You know Job? Was that his name? The guy that was like really dedicated to God, and God's like, I'm gonna just torture him until he hates me, and he just didn't hate him in the end. He's like,
Yeah.
wow, he really does like me.
That's people.
That's my favorite Bible story.
media doesn't show
God's
you those
just like
stories.
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the side of God the media won't show you.
I'll weasel my way in.
Listen.
Comes back with a disguise, morning, fake mustache, glasses.
Wait, what the hell?
Was that a question?
Hey, once I'm in, you can't kick me out.
Oh, bucket list. Yeah.
Bucket list,
Yeah,
bucket
we
list.
think
You didn't answer yours.
we got to the gist. Well, I was saying, I always like, there's always big events that like, I'm like, oh, I wish I can go there, but I just don't go.
Well, what is it?
Like
Like
last
Super Bowl?
week, like last week, yeah, Super Bowl. Like last week, the Killers are headlining Glastonbury. I'm like, oh, I really want to go there, but I don't want to go to England. You know, stuff like that. I want to.
Yeah. I'd like to
Just
see
do-
the Roots in concert. I hear they're amazing
Yeah.
live.
So I just want to do things that I say when I see him, like, oh, I want to do that, but actually do them and not be like, whatever.
This question here comes from Diego at Sir Diego Arana. Who would most
See you, mate.
likely make it to the NFL if there were tryouts?
Out of us?
Teddy,
Me.
probably.
No, at this moment right now, Stu.
No. I'm pretty good right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think Stu has a better chance.
I'm in prime physical physique right now.
I
Prime
think I
physical
could snap.
conditioning. Who you,
Yeah, I was
Batman?
gonna say that.
You could snap.
Long-
You'd get fucking murdered.
I
once
long
they started
snapped like in
rushing.
2 practices once. and
Well, the
then-
long snappers can't get touched really.
Then I messed up and I never did it again. So
This question here comes from Connor Casey. Are we ever going to get season 5 episodes 9 and 10 reviews?
I've gotten like 10 of those questions recently. I always say like we got to finish the predictions.
We'll finish.
So then maybe
We'll finish.
All right, I'm just saying.
No, I'm telling them.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
finish. This question here comes from Shane at Spatchers. Google just announced their new gaming platform. It's boxless 4K 60 frames per second. Thoughts? I haven't even heard of this.
I don't even
Neither
know
have
what
I.
you just said.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, we'll skip that, Shane. We'll get back to you once we do the season 5, episode 9 and 10.
Wait, we'll look into the new Google.
Yeah.
This question here from Brian at Lith or Bane. Favorite book only. Song of Ice and Fire character. It's got to be, for me, it's Ariane.
Didn't read it.
Fuck's dead.
Or Victorian.
Yeah, two good picks. I'm more of a Quentin Martell guy.
No, you're not.
I know, he fucking
There's nobody
sucks.
a Quentin Martell
He
guy.
just gets fucking roasted. I like John Connington.
Who's Tyrion's girl?
Oh, Penny.
Yeah, Penny.
There's so many though. So many small characters that like.
I got one over here. Well, I mean, it's off of what you said.
Oh, there you're looking up.
tweet.
Game of Thrones characters.
No.
No, I'm just you're gonna pick a random one.
Which character from
Strong
the
Bell
I
wants?
gotta say who is
Yo,
it
he's
from.
fucking. You got.
I like the Red Priest too. That's with Victorian. He's a weirdo.
So how's this go? You read their name and then their at.
Yeah, don't. I'm doing the.
All right, so read this
Edric
one then.
Storm. He's cool.
Which character from?
Maya Stone. She's a good character. There's so many good characters.
Oh, somebody just tweeted this. They tweeted this at
Yeah.
you.
No, at me and you.
Oh, which character from the Avengers and which from Westeros would get along the best? Tyrion and Stark.
Oh, that would be a fucking hoot.
Yeah,
They'd have
they
a
would
good
have a great time. They would
Like-
hate each other at first, but then they would be best buddies because they'd be getting
Hulk and
blasted.
Hound.
Melisandre
Oh, boy,
and
yeah.
Loki. I feel like they would conjure something up.
That's a power couple. Holy shit.
Who would Captain America's friend be? Ned.
Oh,
No,
Cap
John.
and Ned would be yeah.
Yeah, John. John and Ned are fucking.
It's the same, right?
No, I feel like Cap and Arya. 'Cause Cap's kind of got like that thing going on with Black
Huh.
Widow.
You'd be like, oh, who? You...
Be like a little rebel, kind of.
No, Arya and Black Widow. They go around.
But I'm saying
assassinating.
Cap and Black Widow they've got the chemistry now.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like
more
best friends.
Banner and Widow.
They confirmed that Cap and Widow got a little thing going on.
Hmm?
They're better together anyway. Much better chemistry. This is a good question here from Axel
Thanos and the Night King.
at Axverse. Infinity War is better than Empire Strikes Back. Debate the hot take.
I was gonna say like, no, Night King, half. He just keeps killing everybody.
Everybody?
Half. That's
We
a good.
kill everybody
like
and
a
then we
buddy
bring
comedy
back
right there.
half. Yeah.
Hey, Fox, Disney, giving you free content here. Buy us.
Thanos is sitting on the Iron Throne with all the Infinity Stones. Night King's leaning on it, looking at him. Nice promo during
Yeah.
Game of Thrones Season 8.
What was the question?
Infinity War is better than Empire Strikes Back. Debate. It's not.
It's weird.
I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think Empire is just a better movie. I think people underrate how great Empire Strikes Back is in the in
I was
all of
watching.
sci-fi.
I was watching A New Hope the other day.
And that's my favorite.
First
but
time,
Empire is a
too.
better movie.
It's good, but looking back, it's just so the style of film is just so much different. Like I feel like if A New Hope was made today, it would get slaughtered online for all like the little things, that people nitpick at movies.
Well, it's the reason I like Phantom
But for
Menace.
back then, it was perfect, and
Yeah.
I could still respect that at the time. That's why I love A New Hope. But I feel like movies now are so different.
A
Not
New
not
Hope
just
is
not just
very
technologically,
slow.
not very
The pacing is different.
Yeah, not even technologically speaking, but just the way they were viewed as far as what you can get away with, what you can do, dialogue wise, and kind of I don't know, just different aspects of film. Are just I'll say it's more serious now, but I feel like the film viewer takes it more seriously.
Yeah, and Infinity War is a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Because then too, like back then, like when
But
The New
Empire
Hope-
is like a crisp 2-hour 10 movie. The pacing is perfect. The dialogue is perfect. The
But those
humor,
movies didn't
the
have to
action,
be. They didn't have to be
the
anything
character
more.
development.
They
Do
didn't
you take into account that it changed like sci-fi movies for the better too?
Yeah, you have to take into account its influence. And Infinity War, we're going to see the influence too. I mean, we already see it with the MCU as a whole. But what were you going to say?
I was just saying, like back then, I feel like if you weren't just a strict genre, like a strictly a drama, and like a serious movie, I felt like there were those and everything else. So like A New Hope going into it, they were just trying to be like a wacky space adventure, and that's what it was, and it was perfect. And I guess back then they didn't realize like, oh my god, this is gonna become a cultural phenomenon, but.
But
That's what
Empire, I
happens.
think, is just on every level. Even though New Hope is my favorite because it holds sentimental value for me. It's the first movie I ever saw,
Well,
and it's just there are moments. But Empire, technically, visually, acting-wise, everything is just better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they knew what they had, and they're like, "Oh, wait." So we kind of take like a little schlockiness and a little awkwardness of A New Hope, and with Empire, they put up the seriousness to a 10. It didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't that wacky space adventure.
but there's still, I mean, Han
we're
and
established
Leia,
here. We're gonna fucking go. We're gonna have an actual story here. We're gonna have some actual depth and.
Well, when
emotion.
people complain about the comedy too in The Last Jedi, it's because it feels forced.
Oh yeah,
There's
of course.
great comedy in. I mean, the scenes with Yoda, the whole introduction it's hilarious. But it's intentional because Yoda was testing Luke. He was trying to portray himself as this crazy old creature, and that's where the comedy stems from. But it was integral to the story.
But he wasn't like that in 1, 2, 3 though. He wasn't this comedy.
No, I'm saying that
like,
he was putting on an
guy.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Yoda was
Infinity
always.
War is better though.
Yeah, they're all that. I always
we spent the whole time talking about Star Wars. Infinity War is better.
No,
It's close.
Yeah.
I just think Empire's better.
We'll see how Infinity War when we look back in 10 years. Because Empire is still the standard, I feel like, for most Star Wars fans. And I'm not saying, like, people like Last Jedi as their favorite or even Force Awakens. That's fine, just different preferences, but
I wonder how good Endgame's going to be if this is going to be the new Infinity War.
yeah, it's good. It's a good point. Return of the Jedi was not that great.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. You said that they turned the series to 10. They were like, let's take it back.
They kind of
like
went back
6.
to A New Hope, but, like,
Right.
but even worse.
Well, they spent like 2 hours on Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
It's like, get me the fuck out of here. That's me at every social situation. It's just me, Han Solo, trapped in the fucking carbonite. It's like, get me out of here. This question here comes from Dragon Lord at Amasasha Fears. Teddy versus the Mountain, but the Mountain has one arm tied behind his back.
Mountain.
Yep.
Oh, don't.
He's got one arm, man.
He can hold a greatsword with one hand. That's what makes him so dangerous in the field.
Okay, I'm like the Viper.
No, you're not.
Whoa, you don't move like the Viper, dude. You
I
can
tap
flip
dance.
you can tap dance. Can you flip?
No.
He's a ballet dancer. He ain't a tap dancer. That's not Fred Astaire. That's Natalie Portman. Black
He was
Swan.
too smooth, man.
That's a good fucking. You ripped off some references right there. I don't think people can appreciate that.
Flew over my head.
Yeah, almost mine too. I caught the Black Swan and I kind of reversed a little. Like, wait,
Wait, who did he say before that?
yeah,
Fred Astaire. That boy used to tap.
it was going over my head. I caught it, brought it back,
I see.
analyzed
You
it.
Odell'd it.
Nah,
Yeah, I always held it.
What a
I
terrible.
want to watch that fight scene. I'm going to watch that when we're done with this.
You raped her.
You would get fucking mashed.
He's the strongest
Doubtful.
man in the world.
Yeah, I probably would.
I'm
catching a lick, though.
Your strength is strength.
You're
I'm
not
catching a lick.
You're not.
No, you're gonna catch a lick from
I'm getting
him.
my
Yeah,
slaps.
Yeah. He's gonna grab you by one hand. You're gonna be slapping at him like, yeah.
I think he'll do what he did to Viper. He'll pop my head like a grape.
Well, this
Yeah.
person exposed me here.
Like
This is from Callahan Bullen at CB Basketball. I'm still waiting for an explanation on this. I tweeted that The Hateful Eight was Quentin Tarantino's best movie, but back in February, when I did my top 5 Quentin Tarantino movies, I had Django Unchained, number 1.
I got exposed to the other day when I put my top 10 Game of Thrones
If
episodes.
you get exposed, all right, you change your mind a little bit.
If Hateful Eight was like 5 on that list, I would have felt more exposed.
No, someone pointed out when I did my Game of Thrones top 10 tweet, I had Laws of Gods and Men.
Yeah,
But-
where did that come from?
I'm telling him, explaining my.
But that was a reach.
It was, I don't know, because I just watched the episode and the scene, so I obviously like to. I'm not saying my lists aren't sacrosanct, like they change
Climb?
all the time.
The Climb? The Climb didn't even get an honorable mention.
The honorable mention was a joke. That was a bit, because then I said pretty much everything else besides.
Yeah, but you named like 4 of them.
I named 2. There were 2 season Baylor and.
The Climb is better than The Laws of Gods and Men.
All right, no,
Chaos.
I'm just saying my list changes every
You
time.
left out Littlefinger's best scene from your top 10 list. You feel good about yourself?
Littlefinger's a dead bitch.
Whoa!
Aggressive.
Want some takes? Come on, man.
After all Littlefinger did for you.
Made my career.
Great content from Littlefinger.
Yeah.
This question here from Dara at Dara Time Lady. Oh, wait, can you explain why The Laws of Gods and Men made it on your list?
Well, no, I was saying 'cause I just watched the episode in the trial scene. I'm like, that's fucking the best scene of the show. So I put it up there.
kill Joffrey. I saved you.
That scene's so great.
city and all your
But when I go through the rest of the rewatch and
It's a great scene.
I get to Battle of the
It's his best
Bastards,
scene.
that's going to be number 1. So I just make lists. I throw them out there. I
Don't quote me on it.
see. No, because he probably thought I was going to kill him for being a fraud, but I invented the fraud. So
choked on his pigeon
congratulations on
pie.
your Quentin Tarantino takes.
So you would blame the baker or the pigeons. Just leave me out of it.
That's a fucking.
That's my favorite Tyrion line.
But yeah, you're out of your fucking.
Oh,
mind.
we forgot last podcast when we were talking about best Game of Thrones line delivery. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. That's number 1. Sorry, Cersei. This question here from Dara at Dara Time Lady. We all know you're movie nerds. Who's the food nerd?
What's a food nerd?
Foodie.
Not me. I'm very picky when I eat. Does that count? That's not a food nerd, right?
Yeah,
Well,
you're a
do
bad
I
eater.
know
You're
a lot
picky.
about foods, or do I eat a lot of
I
food?
think it's food knowledge.
I think it's like
food
a
appreciation.
food savant. You're trying everything. You're eating everything. I mean, I'm trying a bunch of stuff. Not so much vegetables though.
Leaving out a major
7?
food.
Yeah, I'm trying duck. I'm trying different meats.
I'm open
I
to
like
eating
meat.
pretty much anything.
Yeah, I'm not. I used to be. I'm not picky. I just don't like certain things. So I'll try anything, but like people are yelling at me because I said pineapples are trash, which they are.
Oof,
That's a bad
really?
take. Yeah, that's a real.
That's a
bad
horrible
take.
take.
I'm not a big pineapple. I don't like oranges. I don't like peaches. Big
nice.
apple. Apples
So
and
you
bananas.
don't like fruit?
It's a nice
Apples-
sour
no.
taste.
Like apples and bananas.
Yeah, you like the two most basic fruits. The most plain.
But I like
I'm a
orange.
big,
I like
Granny
orange
Smith.
juice. I like grapes.
Say orange juice again.
Orange juice.
What? Say it again.
Orange juice.
All right.
The first time he was like orange juice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking. You know, I'm in the middle
I'm
of my
talking
flow.
here. Eh?
I like berries. I just don't like. I don't know. I'm not a fan of those
Berries. It's very vague. Which berry?
All of them.
Okay,
I love raspberries.
Yeah,
Eric Berry. It's a free agent, right?
good player. Browns.
Oh, he signed with the Browns.
Yo, can the Browns
Yeah.
chill? I think the Browns want every NFL player they can possibly get.
Can't wait for it to all fall apart. And the Jets.
This question here from Alex Posniak at Boris
Oh, wait.
2047.
How do you feel about Odell? I haven't talked to you about that.
The Giants. I'm done.
Go ahead.
Gettleman. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Bring back Cherry Reese. No, don't do that. Which Nerd Soup member would win in a movie trivia contest? Keep up the amazing work. Probably me.
Yeah. You're up there though.
You could probably take me a couple rounds, but 7-game series.
I feel like general, like, you know, especially if we go into the older stuff, you would win. But I feel like I would have like 10 times where I just know like a random fact that,
Yeah.
like, wow, where'd you pull that out of your ass from?
Yeah, it's like you get like you get the home games.
Yeah. No, like he'll win most of the time, but sometimes I'll pull like it'll make me sound like a genius. Like I have no idea where I pulled that from.
I'm waiting for the tag team invite for
like-
movie trivia Schmodown.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I follow their Facebook page and they always ask, who are some channels that you would suggest? We never get suggested.
Mm.
One day somebody
About to
said,
spam the freak out of them.
Well, it's like
About to make like 10 burners.
our team would be so ridiculous
oh my god.
in terms of just all the theatrics. Bringing that posse down to the movie trivia
Well, we
Schmodown.
always said if,
Wait,
if we ever if
it
we
would
were
be us four?
no, if we ever were on it, we were sending like you and Stu.
Nah,
Ted-
I wouldn't- I
no,
wouldn't
you're
wanna
not
embarrass
competing.
myself.
No, but you'll be like
no,
our
you guys
manager.
are competing.
All right.
It's
They
gonna
do
be
things-
it's gonna be like our joke. Like
No.
it's like
No.
here's Nerd Soup, and it's gonna be like Nash and Stu or you and Nash.
You don't want to get invited back?
Oh no, it'd be hilarious. Imagine seeing them like or the answers Teddy would pull out of his ass.
That
Like,
could
who-
be good ratings for
Yeah.
them, honestly.
I think it'd be hilarious.
I wouldn't want to do it though. So
Well, I
It's
always say
embarrassing.
that's one of my favorite shows on YouTube. I don't watch as much anymore as I used to, but I want to get back into it.
You
I've
sound
just been
sad.
so busy lately.
I'd want to
I'm
come though
sad.
with you guys.
Yeah, they're out in Burbank.
Yeah. Canada, Alberta.
I'm gonna say, where's that, California?
No, it's Canada. So it's only like a 6-hour drive for us.
That
right?
rings. Burbank, California. Is it in California?
Nothing.
No,
we just
Burbank,
said
Canada.
was true.
Is it in Canada?
No, it is in Burbank, California.
It is California.
Yeah.
California. You don't know where Burbank is, huh? You didn't know either. All right, that wraps it up.
Teddy story.
No.
Oh, here, Teddy.
And he wants to
sorry.
talk triple frontier too.
Triple Frontier.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get a snack.
All right, we'll go out to eat, get a couple drinks. You know what we do. So we go to a Mexican restaurant, we're drinking margaritas. You know, one of our favorite places that we usually go. And at this place, they give you chips and salsa before you eat, as is with most Mexican restaurants. And the chips are endless. So that's the key point of the story. It's endless chips. They don't run out, and they give you a big basket.
Not that big.
It's a good basket. But if we ran out, you just ask for more. It doesn't matter how bad the basket. It's an unlimited amount of chips. So the basket at this point is like halfway full. Still very full. I'm eating a chip. I take a couple.
Less than halfway.
There's a good amount of chips left in the basket. This is very important for the story. So I take a bite of my chips, and a pretty big piece of chip falls out of my mouth and lands on the table. Not a split second later, I see a hand go, grabs the chip off the table, grabs another chip that was on the table, and he shoves it in his mouth.
I didn't know it came out of his mouth, and I thought maybe I bit into a chip and fell. And it wasn't like he was chewing the chip and like came out of his mouth. It was like he bit to the chip and then like other half of the chip broke off.
Me and Ash look at each other in utter disbelief and disgust. We were like,
It's not that big of a deal.
no, but you were like,
I like the first story better.
but he was saying, but the way he was saying, his justification is like, I didn't see it fall out of your mouth.
It didn't fall out of your mouth.
But why
It
are you
broke
eating?
off the chip.
Why are you eating table chips when there's a whole basket
habit.
right in front of your face that's filled with chips, and we get unlimited chips? Why are you gonna risk
That one caught my eye.
eating a table chip?
I'm gonna go get some Sun Chips.
That one caught my eye.
I give this one a 6 out of 10. First one was a 10
You're gonna
out
cut
of
it,
10.
right?
You want me to?
I don't know why he hates this story so
This is
much.
gross.
This story's not that bad. Honest mistake, right?
Yeah.
Why is he eating table chips?
I'm a human, right?
I'm a human being.
All right, Triple Frontier. This is actually a contentious point between us because
Yeah.
I did on Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram at NerdSuitMonkey for.
If you're still listening, by the way, this is a deep
Nah,
podcast.
they're listening. They're listening. Well,
How
I'll
long are we
know.
going for
I'll
right
know
now?
if they follow me.
Almost, yeah. It's
Then
true.
I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do a surprise at 1,000. I didn't tell anyone that. If I get 1,000
On Instagram?
yeah, once I get 1,000, I'll throw a little surprise on there for the folks. So it's a little.
I want to do a surprise too.
You want to do a surprise?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, follow me too.
All right. So I post my, on my stories, my quick reviews, not a quick scores of movies I just saw for every movie I'm seeing this year, as well as me drunk at a bar singing or playing with a dog. But one of the three. It's good stuff, good content. So I would definitely give me a follow. But I did Triple Frontier. I gave it a 6.8.
Low score.
Teddy, days before, gave it an 8.4. And I wake up to...
Solid score.
I didn't wake up. During the day, I get a message on Instagram from Teddy, and it says...
I think I sent that pretty late, actually.
He said, disrespectful. Yeah, it was like 11 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock in the morning. Disrespectful, so...
It was.
Well, how was I disrespectful?
Because why was that so low? It was a good movie.
It was good, but...
It didn't break the sevens?
You gave it an
Even?
8. You gave it an 8.
8.3, dude.
The thing I had, my problem with the movie was I thought it's a good Netflix movie, great cast. Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam, Pedro Pascal, but I felt like those were the only reason why I liked the characters, because they were those guys.
Yeah.
Because there was no likable qualities about any of those characters. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care what happened to them.
You know,
And
that.
of course, there's a lot of obviously you want he has kids, and there's not enough backstory for me to attach to it.
Yeah, you don't see the kids. You don't see the family.
Not even that. They kind of just glossed over it, and I felt like it was just very, and I loved a lot of what I loved most about it was like, I thought it built great suspense, especially during the heist scenes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and the action sequences and set pieces. It was shot beautifully. A lot of the cinematography was very well done. So from that aspect, I liked the film, and I it was good enough, but man, it was just so predictable on surface level. It dragged. I felt like there was a time where it just kind of just dragged out, and there was no development. And there's a moment pretty crucial to the movie. I would say it's a big part of it. And I guess we'll get into spoilers. So if you're still listening,
Yeah.
that's my quick take on it. So we'll get into spoilers now. When Ben Affleck died, I didn't
That's
give
what
a shit.
Really?
And the person who
I
reacted,
was so upset
there
when
was
he
no
died.
development, and it was Charlie Hunnam's brother who reacted mostly, and there was no development of that relationship at all. It was so unwarranted and so it should have hit so much harder than it did, and it happened. I was shocked, like, oh shit, it's kind of little.
No, you
Departed-esque, but
saw those two relationships during the movie.
not they did because they had the heist. Like, that was kind of like a cool subversion, and I like the concept of having the heist in the middle, and then the rest of the movie be about greed and how some people react differently, and how money and vengeance can control you and kind of deteriorate you.
Yeah.
And I liked that aspect of it, but it was the focus on they kind of had a journey, like that trek from after the plane went down to getting to the boat.
Yeah, and how they wanted to save the money more than
You
getting
could have
alive.
used that time so much better than them bickering back and forth every 5 seconds about something that's kind of, and I get it, but they're trained military professionals. They should know how to cooler heads should prevail, and they should have a plan going into it. They should have been, but they're bickering back and forth. Instead, use that to develop the characters, develop the relationships. So when Ben Affleck dies, I want to see Oscar Isaacs. That's right. The only thing we know about them is they're best friends from a long ago, but
Yeah, I feel like he would be the one that's more upset though. But he did.
even if he was upset, they told you oh, they have a relationship prior, but they gave us nothing more to that. So when it happened, I'm like, you had all this time to develop these characters and build a relationship and have me get to know these characters that you kind of just wasted, and you didn't really build that.
Now, I love this movie. I thought it was a great story. How they're all living this kind of stale life. They weren't well compensated after the wars.
That aspect
And-
of it too, yeah.
yeah.
I really liked it.
I kind of thought the acting was subpar, aside from Ben. Ben did great. I didn't
None
think
of
the acting
them-
was great.
None of them really stood out the performance-wise. I felt like it relied on the fact, too, like, oh, this is Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam. You know these characters. You like them.
Yeah.
So we really don't have to develop, because they were all kind of Oscar Isaac's character is kind of a scumbag, right?
Yeah.
He was a huge scumbag.
I thought he was going to be more of a scumbag.
I'll
but
pay you guys
he wasn't
to
as much of a
consult.
scumbag as I thought he was.
Oh, now that I have you here, we're not going to bring in my connections here.
Yeah.
I'm going to use you guys
he
to
used
risk your lives.
Yeah, he used their greed. Like he used their backstories to convince them to stay, because who's going to turn down fucking
He's like, yeah, once they're
$8-10
there and they
million?
see the money they can get,
Exactly.
he kind of knew they were going to do it. He fucking manipulated them into there.
Now, I thought the pace was perfect in the first act. There was a lot of drama and action, but it did slow down in the second. But what they did in the third act is what made it so much better for me. Like, the action shot up, the story changed drastically.
I liked the change up. That was cool.
Yeah.
But I felt like they could have done more with that change up.
I wish they would have used the kid, the guy's son, as like a mental breakthrough for Ben Affleck's Tom. Not so much actually killing him, but actually changing his psyche and like killing him inside, because you did see it changed him when he killed those guys, even though he had to, because they were going to attack him. Maybe he didn't have to kill him. They probably could have detained him, but then again, who knows what they really have? But I kind of felt like they pulled a page from like Thrones, just bouncing Ben. For no,
I saw that coming. I mean, especially in the thing, he was like the most backstory, and his story would be the most tragic if he did die. So I felt like they were.
Did you think when they were getting shot at that it was them? Because I had no idea that. I didn't think that they were gonna follow him.
Oh, the town, from the farm.
I really thought Lorea's guys found them, and they got caught up because of the
Another
fire.
thing with Lorea, and I know that's kind of like the point. It might just be the point, and I think it is. Like, oh, no, this is Lorea. We got to stop him. That's the movie, but that's such a.
It's not really the movie.
That's
it's
contained from the first half. So it's intentional, but even that, I felt like if we would have had maybe 10 minutes before, where you really understood, because that's part of his character though too. Oscar Isaac's. It's not just, all right, you can have that, the subversion of the heist and kill Araya, but that's part of his character. That's his motivation for being there. Where Ben Affleck, when they're trying to get out, it's greed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we have, it's a hard out. We got to leave. It's like, no, we get more bags. That's his greed. Well,
because Ben never did that.
But Oscar Isaac says, no, he doesn't take the hard out either. He's like, no, we got to do one more sweep, which wastes time.
Right.
So his thing was vengeance. What was that vengeance, though? Because that's such a crucial part in his character and what the situation they got. And they talk about, like, I've been tracking him for all these years, but we didn't really see it. There's no connection. Like, did his family, did he kill his daughter? What happened to cause that animosity between them?
So what I think really happened with Oscar Isaac's character is that he just knew that Lorea had all this money, and that's his way out of the game. I think Oscar Isaac's character can care less about what's happening with Lorea and what's happening and where are they?
South America.
With the gangs. I think he can care less about that. I think he just knows that he had all this money in his house, and he knew 5 guys that can get this job done and rob them. And he used the excuse that, if we take down Lorea, like, taking down him will stop so much stuff in South America. Like,
they didn't care about that.
No, he didn't care about it.
The other guys didn't either. They were about the money.
Yeah. So I'm saying Oscar Isaac tried to convince him that if we take down Lorea, that this will stop so much stuff in South America, when really it won't.
No,
it's going to cause more shit.
You just replace it with someone else, and it starts up again. But I like the concept. I mean, for a Netflix movie, I say this all the time, and it might not be a fair assessment, but like with Bird Box, I'm like, people were like, oh, it's not really that good. I'm like, for Netflix, even though with Roma they kind of set a new standard, but it's a free movie.
Yeah.
Cast I like. It's very well done as far as just.
I really like the ending too.
Production-wise,
it was a bittersweet ending. It was very sad, but it was also very nice. I wish what should have happened is them being so smart. They should have figured out to dump the money earlier in a spot where no one's gonna find it and save the location, and then they all could have got out, and it could have been maybe a better fight instead of having to lug how many bags it was out.
Well, they took down the coordinates.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they should have figured that out earlier, hid the money, and then it would have been a better fight.
But it's like, I kind of saw everything coming. Like, they were losing money little by little, and everything was deteriorating. I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
And I felt like that moment with Ben Affleck should have been a lot more. It should have hit heavier. It should have been like, oh my God. It was just shocking, the fact that it happened, but everything surrounding it felt undeserved. But I still, it's a good movie.
I was happy with it. I
could see like why people would have that opinion. I mean, the heist scene is great. The opening scene with when you fucking take the rocket launcher and the journey is pretty cool. But I felt like it could have been a lot better, and that's my biggest gripe with it. But it's not, if I paid to go to the movie for it, I might have been a little bit more upset. Kind of helped that I was home, like feet up, chilling.
Yeah.
So I guess that's Triple Frontier. If you're still listening, thank you for listening. We'll be back with another podcast next week. Who knows our schedule? We do what we want here. Hey,
Nobody's
Bo's back.
listening.
I think they are.
I think
We could
people
say
are listening.
anything.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Teddy.
You sure?
Yeah, here's your shot.
Well, tell them to comment something. You'd like to do that.
All right. Comment. What we got over here?
I'm gonna buy a dildo. Just put it right in front of you.
Oh, yeah, because that's what he does. He looks around. The times he has done this since so the Brooklyn thing. Said, say Brooklyn. Say Rush Hour Trilogy.
I just realized I'm gonna have to edit this podcast, so me leaving for spoilers makes no difference.
Is that why you left?
You're not going to watch the
I
movie.
thought you left because you just wanted to make food.
So yeah, more food.
We didn't really
That
spoil
smells
much.
really good. All right. Comment burrito.
It's a vegan burrito.
Comment burrito and follow me.
You know everybody's gonna say comment burrito.
I know. All right. Don't be too literal. Really follow me. All right.
But also comment burrito.
Please. And comment burrito.
Nerdsoupforyou@gmail.com.
At Teddy Nerd Soup.
On Twitter.
Is it Nerd Soup? I
And
always
Instagram.
forget.
We're on Instagram too.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm on
I
Instagram.
kind of did my whole spiel already, so.
I didn't do mine yet. I think that's my problem.
You wait too long?
Yeah, I wait till
so
the
no
last.
one's listening?
Yeah.
Cut the feed.
Don't cut it yet.
Cut the feed.
I'm almost